Hey everyone, welcome to an all-new edition of the Lynn with Ben show, coming to you live from the Cross Country Mortgage office here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Have a very special guest with me today, Miss Alexis Walls. She is a dear friend and just a great ambassador for our community, specifically to the event that we're going to speak about, and that is the Swing for the Stars tennis tournament at Porter's Neck Country Club, which will be taking place September the 30th through October 2nd, and all the proceeds directly benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So Alexis has been a Make-A-Wish champion for quite some time, and Alexis, I've known you for a lot of years, and I know that this organization is very near and dear to your heart. Last year, you basically came up with this concept of hosting one of the premier tennis tournaments in our area at one of the most beautiful facilities for basically one of the best charity organizations and community organizations that we could ask for. So want to welcome you to the show and want to ask you a few questions about what's happening this year. But before I do that, I want to kind of get a good idea, a good understanding, and of course for our listeners and viewers out there on exactly how you came up with this amazing concept to help so many amazing kids.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, especially in short notice. We're trying to get this thing pulled together for our second year. I wanted to remind you that I didn't come up with this concept alone. I don't know if you remember that back in 2018, you and I both did Wish Champions for Make-A-Wish, right, on the advisory council. And that's when I was part of basically what was the local board at that time. Mm-hmm. And we had a luncheon together. You and I did lunch right before you hosted your Star Wars night. And we had a meeting where we talked about having a tennis tournament for Make-A-Wish. But then that fall was when Hurricane Florence hit.
Right.
And so we kind of never got our feet back under us because
we were just trying to get the water out of our houses.
That's exactly right. So we had Florence, and then, it took us so long to recover, and then COVID. So honestly, you and I kind of conceived this tournament together back in the very, very beginning.
Well, that's very sweet.
I just happened to pick it back up last year, and it sort of got wheels under it and took off, before I knew what was going on. So that's why I feel like it's kind of full circle for you to come back around as our title sponsor.
Well, I'm so excited to be a part of it. I mean, I do recall those meetings we had and talking about what we could do to be good stewards of our community. I'm the branch manager of Cross Country Mortgage. Alexis is owner, president of Carolina Fireplace and Grill, and they do a fantastic job. Matter of fact, they installed a new fireplace for me after Florence. And took care of all that heavy lifting, and you and your husband Tim just do an amazing job. And I know my Star Wars event, you guys were there and actually gave away some pizza stones. We always do these fun raffles whenever I have a client appreciation event. In this case, it was at Regal Mayfair Cinemas for one of the Star Wars movies, one of the last three that came out, and Alexis came and donated some pizza stones to the raffle. Everybody had a good time. But yeah, I mean, I do recall the beginnings of that. But the thing was, like, you followed through with it, and you were the one that really put this thing together. And Alexis, the first year that you all did this, how many participants did we end up having in total?
So, including our sponsored players, we maxed out at 150. And that's the maximum number of players that we can hold at Porter's Neck with the number of courts that we have and the number of divisions that we allow to register for the tournament. So
Certainly.
That's the number of players that we're going to have this year as well. And we're already almost at 115 players.
Wow.
And we still have we've got a couple of weeks before the tournament kicks off, and we have a good 10 days before registration closes as of today. I think that Rafa, our tennis director, and I are thinking that the tournament's going to sell out well before our deadline.
Certainly, I believe it will. And the great thing about the number, I mean, obviously the facility and the tournament could hold more players, but one thing that you and Rafa have really done to be considerate of the folks that are playing, to keep the tournament moving in a fluid manner, keep it streamlined, keep matches happening on time, where people aren't waiting around for hours, due to their next match. You are allowing each participant to participate in one flight. So, for example, they have a 6-0 women's league, a 7-0 women's, 8-0, and then an open division. But only, and same for the men as well. But when you play, I signed up for the 8-0, myself and Joe Meyer are playing together. When I signed up for the 8-0, I'm not able to play in any other flights. In divisions, and that really helps keep the wheel rolling, if you will, to where you can still enjoy your weekend. Obviously, you're there to enjoy it at the beautiful landscape of Porter's Neck Country Club and the wonderful tennis facilities, but you still get to go home and be with your family afterwards, or go out and catch dinner or a movie.
That's right.
And if you play in tennis tournaments or that's not always the case. There can be a lot of congestion, a lot of traffic, and
that's right. And we want the players that are there to also consider the event to be more than just tennis, which you experienced that last year. Your family came out and they were able to enjoy a good time watching the tennis. We've got the bocce ball courts are running. There is there's pickleball, there's cornhole, there's food, there is a DJ going on. So there's a lot of entertainment. And when you're playing in a tennis tournament, you don't want to feel like you're just playing back to back to back to back. You want to be able to enjoy your time. You want to watch your friends play. And so by scheduling it the way that Rafa does, and he does a phenomenal job. He's the one who keeps all the statistics on tennis tournaments, and he's been involved in tournaments since he was a little kid. He says that his tournament was the only one without a delay, and having participated in other tournaments, which I have a lot of respect for all tournament directors. It's a tough job, and I wouldn't want to have to do it. Kidding. So certainly not to take away from any of them. It is, though, a huge bragging point for Rafa to be able to say that his was the only one that didn't run on any kind of delay. Part of that is also the weather. I would like to think that we have a little bit of a blessing. It's, the weather is perfect on that weekend, so we're holding out and saying a little prayer that we're going to have the same thing this year.
It seemed like the weather just worked out perfect for us last year, and then the sunsets were beautiful. Just the whole atmosphere and environment. People are there for such a great cause, and it's when you champion things like that for children, and you want to make those wishes come true. It just puts spirits. It brings spirits up and puts smiles on people's faces. Alexis, not only is the tennis very important and the networking and the community aspect of it, talk to our listeners about what's going on behind the scenes. I know there's going to be a silent auction as well, like there was the year before. So can we talk about just kind of the how that works and the inner goings there?
Right. So, I don't really do anything small. You don't do anything small. We just don't know how to scale anything tiny right. And there was we were nervous a little bit when we conceived of the tournament. The average cost of granting a wish is $7,500. So when Rafa and I had our first meeting with Chris Winter, the CEO of Make-A-Wish Eastern North Carolina, which I think is an important designation to make as well. Like this tournament specifically benefits, not to get off topic, but it specifically benefits our chapter, which is Make-A-Wish Eastern NC. Right. And so we've got over 500 children on our wait list just in our chapter. Wow. And I think over 40 of those kids are in New Hanover, Brunswick, and Pender counties.
Well, can I ask you this? How much money was raised last year for these kids?
That's how I'm going to talk about the auction. I'm going to tie that in 1 second. Okay. So we started out by saying if we could raise enough money to grant one wish, with this starter tennis tournament, we had no idea how many people were going to turn up, 7,500 is a big deal. So let's try for silent auction. We'll try for, the players. We ended up raising $41,000 and some change with that first tournament.
That's amazing.
And because I wasn't sure, how we were going to do with registrations, the silent auction, which was, your original question, actually ended up bringing in almost as much as player registrations. Wow. So yes, there's going to be a silent auction, and the way we ran it this year was we put out a call. We called it the Captain's Challenge for auction items. And so we put out a call to all of the Wilmington tennis captains, from Day League to USTA, World Team Tennis. We even said, if you just have a social league that plays for fun, you're considered a captain. And we're going to give you a challenge to bring us an auction item that has a minimum retail value of $250. And in exchange for participating in the auction in that way, we will list your name on the T-shirt. I don't know if you remember your tournament T-shirt from last year.
Oh, yeah, I
or not,
still
but at
have
the
it.
bottom of the T-shirt.
I still wear it.
Yeah, it says, as where all the sponsors are listed on the back, it also at the bottom says, team captains and players. And then every team that participated was listed. Well, this year we opened it up to not just Porter's Neck teams, but teams all across the city. Right out of the gate, we had a consolidated team that plays out of the City League parks come up with, they raised a tremendous amount of a four-figure amount of money in like the course of 5 days, and they are bringing us an electric bike with all of the accessories.
So they actually raised money to go purchase an item for the silent auction. How cool is that?
That's exactly right. I belong to a private bourbon club in town, the Bell Tower Bourbon Club, that is part of the Brooklyn Arts Center. I put out the call to the members of the bourbon club, and they stepped up and are donating like rare, hard to source bourbons that we're going to put in the silent auction that, are really going to.
Being from Kentucky, I really can appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Sure. Bourbon country.
And then, some of our sponsors like Lumina Gem, they're so generous that they sponsor us, but they're also, last year they donated a really fabulous pair of diamond earrings. And so, we're asking everybody to kind of step up a little. And I think that once you're there, the excitement of the tournament, even you, I noticed that beautiful piece of art that you bought at last year's auction is hanging in your office.
Yeah.
So
and it was done by a local artist too.
Right.
And then the name of the artist escapes me, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of coastal artwork. That was actually my team that donated that last year to the auction.
There we go. There we go.
So I think that's different. The way that we do our silent auction is very different because we're not just going to businesses and asking them to make donations or even private individuals. We're really involving the tennis community by saying, can help us be a part of the tournament in this way.
Right.
And then nobody ever gets there and feels like, well, I already donated. Like I already participated by registering. People get there and they're like, well, that's really cool. I'd like to buy that. That's really cool. And, we're still on the hunt. I've put out the call, as we're trying to get things that are different. We want concert tickets. We want sports tickets. We're going to really try to blow the auction out of the water this year.
Certainly. So. Well, I know last year it was a massive success, and raising $41,000 last year for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, of Eastern North Carolina. I agree with you. I think that's so important to detail that we are impacting the local community here.
Right.
In Eastern North Carolina, it's so important because there's Western North Carolina Make-A-Wish. There's different sectors, right? So everything that you donate to this or that you bring to the table when you register, you are directly impacting local families, local children at a great local community event. So Alexis, obviously, we talked about how much you raised last year. The 41K. I just mentioned that a second ago. I mean, for the first year of inception, to raise that amount of money had to have just been absolutely, just gratifying and just amazing. It gives me chills just thinking about it. This year, year two of the tournament, what is kind of the target goal? Where are you trying to take this to this year?
I mean, like all the words that you just used to describe the feeling are accurate, but also it's really humbling.
Certainly.
So, we call it Swing for the Stars, and I certainly want to do that. So, there's part of me, the business part of me, wants to say, let's go for 80. We set our goal at 50. I'd like to tell you that if you take a look at our fundraising scroll page as of today, that number sits at 28,000 and change.
Fantastic.
So we're 56% of the way to our goal.
And we haven't even gotten to the silent auction
yet.
We
haven't gotten to any of, and we haven't even posted the online donation link.
Oh, wow.
So, our costs have gone up this year. Everybody's costs for everything have gone up. You and I spoke about that as a sponsor. We spoke about that. And some of the sponsorships, have changed. The dynamics of sponsorship have changed. So, we'll see how it all shakes out in the end. But we're far ahead of where we were last year. So, I would like to think, we've been billing it as come join us. As we shatter like another fundraising record.
Right.
So we set it at 50.
Shatter a fundraising record, not my racket, right?
No shattering of rackets. I mean, unless we want to make a can we monetize that somehow?
I mean,
like,
if
we start a bidding pool or
if
like
there was a way to
betting pool?
monetize breaking rackets and shattering rackets, I believe the thing would do $200,000.
Oh, I think we should talk about that. Like
I mean, honestly, the amount of rackets I've destroyed over the years, but due to my poor play.
I don't know about that, but I think we should definitely discuss that further. No, so we're gonna aim high. We certainly don't want to disappoint anybody. So we set it at 50. Also, we move the goalposts every time. So last year, we said 7,500 when we started. We put the marker at 21,000, on the online giving. So we would continue to raise it because we didn't want anybody to look at it and be like, oh, they've already met their goal. So, the minute we hit 50, we'll raise it to 60 and just keep going. And I think you follow my personal social media, so you can see me putting out the call
Certainly.
like, come on, people, we're at 50. Let's see can we hit 55? Can we hit 60? So
well, let's for the monetary part of it. I'm so grateful that folks are being generous and have been generous with this tournament and with this community. We have so many amazing folks that donate their time, talent, and treasure to what you all are doing here and overall in our community. We're very. I remember we talked about Florence when that took place. The overall unity that this community showed during that really speaks to the heart of Wilmington. It speaks to the heart of Eastern North Carolina. And we're calling on all you folks out there this year to be generous. I know things like we talked about, things are more expensive. Obviously, I know that people are feeling that at home a bit. We're also feeling it on the tournament organization side. But what a better time to really give back for all the gifts that we've been grateful to receive over the years. And I say that through hard work pays off. Just the drive and determination of folks that get up every single day, go to their job, take care of their kids. We appreciate and value everything that you do and sacrifice for your families. And we also know too that at least I feel like it's as important for me to be able to give back to other families or other children as well. Not just my son Luke, who's 5. I mean, you've got an amazing daughter, Lila. She's don't even tell me how old she is now.
Lily is 16.
Lily, I'm so sorry,
that's okay.
Lila.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's okay.
My bad, Alexis. I've only known you for 10 years, and here I butcher your daughter's name.
That's
Must be a little nerves on the camera. Can you imagine that? But obviously, big lofty goals to hit. But I feel like with our community and the heart that this community has, I think we can get there. And what a better place to have a tennis tournament than Porter's Neck Country Club. Folks, we're both members out there. I've been a member now for quite some time, since 2014. I can tell you I played on every tennis court in this town, county, surrounding counties. Those courts are the best courts that I have played on, period. They are clay courts, so if you're listening out there and you're a tennis player, it doesn't matter if you're a novice or a pro. We have something for everyone. So whether you're a 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, 4-5, 5-0, you can play in this tournament. I do know I spoke with Rafa yesterday about entries, and it looks to me like that the women's 7-0 division is almost full. There's almost 32 entrants.
Yeah.
As far as the teams are concerned. I mean, this is insane. Way to step up, women out there.
That's right.
7-0 women are coming in hot over here.
Yeah.
I know the 8-0 men's division. It looks like it's getting there. Still need to catch up to the 7-0 women. But the 8-0 division looks like it's getting a good, healthy response. I think I need to see a little bit more in the 7-0 men's.
Yep.
We need to get some more teams there, especially.
And we're having a lot of requests for more mixed doubles. We want the players that are registered for mixed doubles. I think that it's because the returning champs, junior players, Sophia Catino and Hayes Gilbert, who cleaned house last year. I think that the players that are already registered to play this year are sad because they just know they're going to go out and probably get whipped by them. No offense to anybody, they're amazing. So they want to have some more competition. They want to have we're actively I'm trying to recruit players across the board, but especially in the mixed doubles, the open mixed doubles division. And, the tournament is open to, we've got players coming from out of state. We have people that Wilmington players that are bringing their partners. They have friends coming to visit.
We have a lot of folks from Raleigh,
Yes, we have got
other
several
areas
players that are coming from Raleigh because we've got members who have friends that live up there,
Right.
Members that have recently moved from Raleigh that, have recruited their friends to play. So it's going to be a good mix. But also, I would say, to people who are not at all tennis players that are just interested in a fun weekend, there are a lot of people who are tennis fans who are not tennis players. And, we will have a few pros that are registered to play. We have a pro who's coming down from Raleigh to play in the women's open division. We will have another pro who's from a different club in town who I won't name just yet because she hasn't registered. She knows who she is.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
And she'll be playing probably in the mixed doubles open division.
Wonderful.
So there's going to be some really good tennis to watch as well.
Right.
So Waterman's is going to be supplying us with beer. There's going to be food. There's going to be an open bar.
And how does the beer work? The beer is like you buy a cup.
That's right.
Yeah, how much is a cup? Do you know how much it is yet, or have they set that price?
We haven't set the price yet because we haven't made a final selection on the beers yet. So it'll be we'll have to, but it'll be in the 5 to 10 range. Maybe we'll settle on $7.50. We're just really trying to cover the costs.
So so once you purchase your cup, folks, then you can go back for refills.
Right.
And it's drink the keg up. I mean, some people hear that and their eyes light up. You may want to stay, drink a couple beers. You don't have to drink too many, right? But
I mean, you should encourage the people in your flight to drink plenty of beers.
I'm encouraging
as long as they have a safe ride home.
Yes, everyone playing men's 8-0 doubles, drink to your heart's content, and I will drive you home personally after we play tennis. No, but all kidding aside, it's an amazing time, an amazing event, and we just thank Alexis and team for putting this on. It's something that I look forward to this year. Myself, Lynn with Ben, with Cross Country Mortgage, we stepped up to take this title sponsorship spot because it's something near and dear to my heart, and I love tennis. I love the game of tennis, and I love helping making wishes come true for children. It's such an amazing thing, and anything that I can do to be a part of that, to give back to our community that gives so much to us. I know Alexis feels the same way with Carolina Fireplace and Grill. You guys have just been everywhere, doing great work for a lot of homeowners over the years, and especially in our community in the Porter's Neck area. You're such a well-known commodity, and it's great to see all of us coming together to give back and put on something that's just so critically important for so many people and so many children. So
thanks so much. I really appreciate it. We have a phenomenal tournament committee this year, and I mean, we're especially grateful for you as our title sponsor. And we have a lot of returning sponsors this year at the Grand Slam and Ace levels, and so we're really thankful for them.
Are there
as
still
well.
Sponsorship opportunities available?
There are absolutely still sponsorship opportunities available, auction items, player registrations. We are not shutting anything down until the day of the tournament. So, if we can't get you on the T-shirt, we will find a way to advertise your business to make sure that you're maximizing your return on investment.
Certainly.
We're also especially grateful for Rafa in Montana at the club and their entire staff, and Porter's Neck Country Club for everything that they're doing to help us make this happen.
Right. Alexis, how can folks get signed up for the tournament? How can we direct folks to registration? And also, let's start with registration, and then let's talk about how they could get in contact with you about sponsorship opportunities.
Okay, so we have on Facebook, there is a Swing for the Stars tennis tournament permanent page. Okay. It's listed as an event, but there's also, we own a Facebook page. So obviously we like to get that with as much traffic, and on that page there's a link, but I know that not everybody does Facebook, and that's fully understandable. There's also, if you belong to the USTA, you can go into your USTA page and you can search for local tournaments. And I think Rafa actually has it listed as Swinging for the Stars. Swinging for the Stars. Okay. But it's easily searchable. And I think that you guys mentioned that you're going to put the scroll on.
It'll be it's listed there on our graphics. Right below us here, Alexis, there'll be the registration links and also sponsorship opportunities. I guess when they click on that, they can also be able to reach out to you guys for?
Anybody can reach out to me at alexis@carolinafireplace.com.
Gotcha. Okay, that's the best way. Okay.
Yep, that's probably the easiest way. Rafa's email address is pretty long, so.
Plus, he gets a lot of emails a day.
He does.
From tennis folks like myself. Rafa, what am I doing wrong? Rafa, help me with this. Help me with that. No, we again, thank you, Alexis. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know everybody's got a very busy schedule, but I know you and I have been talking about doing this for several weeks.
Yeah.
We wanted to pick the right time, and I feel like the time is now to really go ahead and nail this thing down as the premier tennis event in Eastern North Carolina to benefit such a great cause. So thank you for all you do with Make-A-Wish of Eastern North Carolina and for our local community.
Thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a legendary weekend.
Yes, legends will be made on the tennis courts. Yes. Well, folks, that's all the time we have today on this special edition of the Lynn with Ben show, Swinging for the Stars style. God bless you guys. Please give me a call if you have any questions about anything mortgage related. I'm available 24/7 for any and all pre-qualification requests. You can reach me at 910-352-3373 or lenwithben.com. Have a great week.